Made a smoothie. Wasn't too bad. You know, there's sometimes when you make a smoothie and it's like, either it's like really, really like loose, like I guess milky, or it's really thick and it's like, or it's right in the middle, where it actually tastes really good. Just want to say welcome. I wouldn't say this is a vlog. Well, it is, but we're heading to work. We're heading to work in about 6 minutes. About a 30-minute drive. We're gonna take off over there. I'm gonna take you with me, but I'm not gonna take you inside the office because that's PPI, whatever it's called. And I don't want anything past that getting out. So yeah, journey for today as someone that's in the United States Air Force and is doing sales when they get off work. And also we're gearing up for Spain in June. I can't tell you how excited I am for Spain. Spain's gonna be absolutely incredible. It's 2 weeks, and 2 weeks we'll be out there. And just from coming to Malta, Malta was absolutely beautiful. That was an incredible experience. And so I'm looking forward to replicating the same thing, especially doing the sales over there and just pushing it harder and then recording videos like these. Alright, let's go. You expected to watch this YouTube video and expect dope camera angles and shit like that? I'll tell you what, you were fairly mistaken. This is the most raunchiest type of video you can make, because I do not have time to be all fancy. It was so nice outside, and now it's just shitty. That's why I can't stand about the UK. Don't get me wrong, when the UK slaps, when it has really good weather, you're just like, dude, I fucking love it here. Next thing you know, 30 minutes, like a fucking cloud will just come over and just fucking take over everything. It'll look like Fallout. You'll probably see me at the end of the day where I'm like, all right, guys, we wrapped up today's, work session. We're heading over to whatever it is. Nah, something like that. But yeah, we're just driving out there. To give you guys a little background, I'm over at, obviously I'm in the UK, but I got stationed over here about a few years ago. And it's not bad. I'm maybe 30 to 40 minutes away from base, which I like it that way. I used to be in the dorms, and obviously as, first term airman, heading over to your first base, you'll probably be in the dorms for a good amount of time. So I'm an admin troop, right? So I'm really the definition of chair force at its finest. And aside from that, I just work for the entire squadron. So it's something light, I guess. So I picked up sales way back from being on, I guess you could say, deployment / TDY, because it really wasn't a deployment because it's in Kuwait. And throughout that time, what I was just doing was just regular postal work. So I was doing cargo and stuff like that, because that's somewhere in our contract that says we could do it. But anyway, I did a lot of networking before I left for deployment. And by networking, I would go to seminars, I would go to a bunch of different things, conferences, and I would just have conversations with other people in the same sort of mindset, the same sort of aspect. And there's this one person that I ended up getting a hold of, and he was just really cool. I ended up finding someone from his, contacts that does sales, and they're hosting a free training group session called Affinity Sales Training Group. Now, that's the whole story in a bunch, and basically throughout my TDY, all I did was just study sales, work on that, work on also getting a role. This is not the type of field that you can just expect to go in and make a lot of money, right? You have to do your work, you have to do your due diligence, you have to make sure you're also providing the service that, they're expecting. I had nowhere to do the sales calls. So literally I would do the sales calls in the outside, so, at the actual air base, Ali Al Salim, and I literally sit out in one of the pavilions and try to call people up. And then you have other people walking around and shit, and they're looking at me like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, what is he doing? Like, why is he making a bunch of calls? After like a few months of doing it, I basically threw in the towel. I gave up, because I was just like, this just doesn't make any sense right now. Like, why? Like, I might as well just keep on learning and keep on getting as, efficient at it as possible. And then when I get back, I can fully focus on it. And that's exactly what I did. Once I got back to Lakenheath, it was during the time that I was transitioning out of the dorms. So I was like, everything's working out exactly how it should. Because when I get out of the dorms, I have a space to do the sales calls. I have a space where I'm not going to have to worry about making any calls, and I can genuinely get them all done in a timely manner. Just learning, and just putting my all into it. And I ended up finding a good offer right? And then so that transcended into, in the beginning of the year, of this year, I ended up getting the opportunity to be a closer. And that's really when, you know, things started moving. The whole cold calling experience, I didn't make a dime. And it was my fault, right? Because there's a lot of people in my offer that made a lot of money just from cold calling. And I simply just, you know, I was fucking up. I was being lazy. I would do $150, but sometimes you gotta realize, like, that ain't enough. It isn't enough. You gotta send out emails. You gotta do all this. And I just didn't do that part. Yeah, now we're here. Now I'm talking to you. Yeah, we're on our way. It's gonna be a long drive. It's always a long drive. A lot of gas money spent. But we are on our way. So I will see you guys when I get out. Should be like 4:30. So later. Fuck! Let's go, baby. Just got out of work. We were on our way back. God is good, first off. And to give you guys context, I've been applying for Palace Chase for about, I think, 3 to 4 months now. And it has been a process that shouldn't be such a challenge. And for some reason, it was, right? Constant back and forth with the commander holding up my paperwork, just being patient, understanding that if you overreact, things will be worse than what they should be, and understanding that there is a process with this, there's a road with this, not thinking emotionally. That is what I learned so much from this, and all the patience, all the effort. I was looking at my email, not expecting it. I literally talked about it. I was like, yeah, it should take about 5 weeks for myself to get like a, you know, some sort of idea on what it's gonna be the verdict. It got accepted. So now we look for a reserve unit out in Florida. It's either a reserve unit out in Florida or it's any other reserve unit. But the fact that now we're at that stage where we're looking for a reserve unit is truly just unreal. I've been working on this so much every single day. Like, I get off of work and I do this exact same thing. I get off of work, I go straight into sales. Get off of work, go straight into sales till I go to bed. Learning about my craft, getting better at my craft, and constantly putting in the effort, putting in the inputs to get the outputs. Good news for all of us, right? We are heading back home, and we are getting into our sales calls, and we got some big things coming up, so we're gonna get it going. But yeah, let's drive back. I'll see you guys back home, and let's get it. Now we do a quick change up. Just got back from driving. So we are home. We'll usually either work here or we'll head over to a co-working space that I work at and do work there. It just depends on how I feel. Depends on how much of a workload we have, what we have to do or what we have to take care of. That'll usually depend whether I want to just stay here and kind of just work on stuff or go somewhere else. I am beyond excited for the future now. It's just been a lot of just like waiting, and it's a whole new lifestyle that we're gonna be going into, a whole new chapter, I guess you could say we're embarking into, that one can only do if you truly want it, right? Because the biggest thing, especially when you're trying to transition from people in the military, you gotta really harp on them. You gotta really harp on your leadership. You gotta really push it through the grain. Like, look, this is truly something I want to do because I know it's gonna be a benefit for myself, and I know it's gonna work out. Because they will question every fiber of your being to make sure it doesn't, or to make sure they'll say, hey, we don't want you to make an emotional-based decision. We want you to make an honest decision on it. This is actually something you see yourself doing. And a lot of people simply do it because they feel like it's a way out. They feel like screw the military, all this stuff. I have nothing against the military. I generally believe it is the greatest thing for somebody to get into. In the beginning, do a 4-year, not a 6-year, and truly learn about yourself. Learn about what you can take, what you can't take. Learn about, you know, leadership. Learn about also just, I guess, women. I'm just kidding. Learn about friendship. Learn about all that stuff. I know you can do that on the outside, but there's sort of a safety net for yourself to. It's kind of like a free trial into the real world, right?
A lot of us get out of high school and we simply just don't know what the hell is in store. Whereas the military will give you that opportunity to kind of get a free trial of that and also have a safety net. So you know you're not gonna get too much in trouble. A lot of people sometimes might regret because they might be like, oh, it's not like what I'm used to, or oh, I miss my boys. But to be fair, my guys, the guys that I genuinely enjoyed hanging out with and working with, those people, and just like everything in life, it goes away. It goes away after a certain amount of time. You have to understand you could either live in the past and accept that as your reality and basically say, oh, I wish we were all back together, or you could just keep on moving and understand that you're gonna have those same type of people throughout all facets of your life, not just one. So the real question is what you want to be and what you want to do.
So that wraps up today's video. I appreciate you guys for sticking by. I know it was a little bit longer, but I thought it'd be nice to kind of show you the day-to-day on what it would look like for myself as a military personnel that is doing sales part-time. And there's a lot of a long-term picture to this and a long-term goal, and what I love about it is the fact that I can show you guys this, and I would really want to see what it's going to look like, you know, around November timeframe, December timeframe, where Christmas is around and I'm already built into a new place and it's a whole new chapter. So it's pretty awesome to be able to share this alongside and give you guys insight and give the people out there, especially military members, a different way of doing things. And from here, basically, I just hop on calls. So I have calls scheduled throughout the rest of the day till around 10 p.m. at night. And once I finish up some calls, usually I'll go to bed. But aside from that, if those calls go the way they should or what they shouldn't, it just depends. But from there, I'll just do a lot of emailing and a lot of just making sure that the leads are up to date, and then sending out mass emails for different resources that we have, and then basically just promoting the brand, promoting the trading course. So aside from that's really it, right? That's the entire grain of it all. So if you truly want to learn a little bit more about it, and if it's something that you're interested in, by all means, send me a message. We'll talk about it. It's definitely something that's going to take a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it. But aside from that, I'm going to close it off from here. From the top of the world, batteries still don't exist. To the bottom depths where life still lives. Do you dare to dream? As a matter of fact, do you dare take the next step? I'll see y'all later.